guess what? It's another night where I've had insufficient sleep, so the show's going to be very unhinged. There's a person in the room passing by. Today's show is a four-paper show. We've got The Sun, The Times, The Daily Mail, and The Mirror. The Mirror will be today's speed round because it's always a bit boring. When are you leaving?
At 3:30.
Oh, okay.
Ish.
I was going to see if you want to do the speed round.
I'm going to speak on. Just give me 5 minutes.
Well, I only do The Sun first, but they liked it.
Why didn't speak on before, Mirror?
Mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah. They liked it when you did the speed run before. Hello, Mark. How are you doing? Yes. You're watching today from the music student common room. How does this differ from a normal common room? Please provide details. Okay. Good afternoon, Slingermeyer. How are you doing? As I mentioned, some people probably didn't hear. Today is another unhinged stream, as I did not get enough sleep. That's just for music students. That's it. Doesn't have anything cool about it. Each department has its own. Oh, that's cool. We just had like the JCR and the MCR, and that was it. But then there's one each college. Whatever. Anyway, hello. Here is welcome to the cursed show. Welcome to we are driving along in our cursed car today with Rachel Reeves at the wheel, Keir Starmer in the passenger seat, and the hitchhikers we've picked up, Laura Koonsberg and Robert Peston in his pink suit. Right, let's do The Sun. I think I know what that is. I think it's a WWE wrestling figure being delivered for our friend's birthday. It's a Roman Reigns figure. All right, here goes. Here's the front page of The Sun. Sabina Murder Man charged. The typically caring kind of headline from The Sun. Top right hand corner, Sash and Jax, why the Grealishes are the new Posh and Becks, only because The Sun wants them to be. And also, Posh and Becks is old hat, isn't it? Am I the head of the table? At what? Main story is this is a ridiculous Sun front page here. So, Q Watch. Drivers confused by petrol U-turns. This written, of course, by Britain's premier cuck fetishist, Mr. Harry Cole. And we've got an illustration here where various roads you can go down. You can call in the army. You can drive to not call in the army. You can panic. You can don't panic, and you can bury your head in the sand. Sorry. Yes, it's a Roman Reigns reference. Sorry, I just forgotten. I'm to tell you how tired I am. I just forgotten I'd even mentioned Roman Reigns. Yes. Well, we've also got for his twin a Shawn Michaels figure, which I kind of want to keep because Shawn Michaels is my favourite wrestler. It comes with detachable hands, so you can add sweary hands to it. Anyway, right, on with The Sun. Let's get into the paper. I mean, I don't really want to, but I must. On page 3, that isn't page 3, but is page 3, Cristiano Ronaldo's girlfriend, Georgina Rodriguez, is wearing a bikini because, why not? Mark Canosis, find out about the real Roman Reign at Second Roman Photo Museum. Is Shawn Michaels still wrestling? No, he is not. He mostly now does hunting. Occasionally he turns up for a kind of guest appearance. He's quite old. On pages 4 and I think he's in his 50s. On pages 4 and 5, medics and carers hit crisis and chaos cripple UK. They love some alliteration, don't they? Right, moving on. On page what came by the way? Oh, boo. On page 6, pizza driver charged with Sabina murder. R. Kelly guilty on sex raps. Sex raps. No, it's a series of extremely serious sexual abuse charges. And trafficking charges. Sex raps. Jesus. Farage's fuckface. Sting is still wrestling in his mid-60s. I know, they just will not stop. On page 7, Boss's Mole COVID crackdown. Stricter come dancing is the headline. More on the fact that Kate Moss's daughter is now a model. Lilla, 18, wows, just like mum, wears insulin pump on catwalk. She proudly wore an Omnipod insulin pump on her thigh as she showed off a high-cut swimsuit. I think she just kind of has to wear it. C122, H122, correct. Yeah, Saudi Arabia was his last... Arabia was his last match with Kane and The Undertaker and Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Of course, Triple H now part of the first family of WWE and a senior executive over there. Pages 10 and 11, murdered student's family on heartache. Women have every right to be out on our streets when they like, says Mom of Libby Squire. Correct. But of course, I think the sun plays a part in creating poisonous, toxic misogyny that has a role in violence against women. But, you know, you can't expect the sun to connect things up because it would get in the way of his business model. On page 13, Batman and Snoggin, Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck, were seen in the street kissing in what is not at all a totally contrived photo op. Also on page 13, okay for poshos to get hoity-toilety. Yes, Tatler, which once called person in the room waggish, something she will never let me forget, has said that posh people can now say toilet and not just loo or lavatory. Other things that they shouldn't be snobbish about anymore include Crocs, fuck off, being green, football, cappuccinos after midday, Love Island, and Pizza Express.
That is the hill I will die on. No cappuccinos after midday.
Tatler says this because there is a difference between being a snob and being intolerant. They say it's fine to be snobbish about Mykonos, Negroni cocktails, fake grass, and designer dog breeds, as they are common or vulgar. I think Tatler's fucking vulgar, mate. Grilling Pirate Pete, good morning to you. Well, I hope work has been going well. Thank you for joining us anyway. Yeah, good to see you for a little bit. Thank you. And do remember, it's always on the YouTube to watch. C122H122 says Rock 2024. It would be kind of hilarious if The Rock became president. Adrian Childs says, we're not panicking, we're panic buying entirely rationally. Okay, Pumpkinhead. He doesn't like Angela Rayner. He says GPs need a break, and he's discovered TikTok. On pages 16 and 17, Sash and Jax, he calls Posh and Bex a new footy fashion power couple. Really. Mainly, they say it's mainly because Jack Grealish also wears Alice bands. Comic Vic, deaf from tumour, Reeves ditches stereo records. Vic Reeves has an inoperable tumour which has left him permanently deaf in one ear and made him ditch his stereo record. Yeah, a weak Charles today, not the best Charles. Apparently the most annoying habits in a partner are from 10 to 1. Da 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 da. At 10, it's being bossy. At 9, it's talking through TV shows. At 8, it's never cleans the bathroom. At 7, it's clothes on the floor. At 6, it's uses phone during chat. At 5, it's crumbs in the kitchen. At 4, it's messy cook. At 3, it's farts. At 2, it's doesn't listen. And at 1, for the 10,000th week in a row, it's snoring.
Yeah, I agree with every single one of those.
I don't do all of those things.
Oh, I can.
I do about 2 out of 10 of those. Less not even. I do snore, that's true. I don't leave clothes on the floor.
That's true.
I do clean the bathroom.
That's true.
I don't leave crumbs in the kitchen. That's what the child does. I don't talk through TV shows. Also what the child does.
Yeah.
But she's a child, so is therefore allowed to do these things. Anyway, this is from a survey by LG Electronics, who just wanted to get their name in the paper. Slinkermeyer, all of these things could be applied to roommates. Markanosis says, number 1 most annoying thing, ordering coins from newspapers.
Yes.
Yes, no coins.
No coins.
On pages 20 and 21, the bizarre column, Jessie Nelson is apparently sad that she's quit Little Mix, but still glad she quit or something. Who gives a fuck? Taylor Swift was a surprise guest at was a guest at Lena Dunham's secret wedding. Not that secret, is it? Grinning Pirate Pete asked questions during the movie neither of us have seen. Like, why did he do that? I don't know. Why don't we watch and find out? I really do hate that, yeah. The person in the room doesn't do that, though. Mould on a minute. What's that? Ask questions during the movie, like, why has he done that? Or who's that?
No,
that's really annoying. They've got a page about what food you can keep if it goes mouldy and cut bits of mould off, because it's definitely not the 70s, and I mean the 1870s at this point. On page 23, there's a dog called Gus who likes to go flying in an airplane. Look how happy Gus is! Devs, look how happy Gus is!
Gus is very happy.
What a good boy. The good flying boy. Also on page 23, a Labour MP threatened to throw acid over a woman who she believed was having an affair with her partner, a court heard yesterday. Claudia Webb, 56, allegedly bombarded Michelle Merritt with menacing silent phone calls. A 20-month campaign of harassment also saw her say that she would kill Miss Merritt's family. It was said Webb also allegedly called her a slag and threatened to show naked images of Miss Merritt to her own children. But which is horrible if true, But also, let's consider how often the Sun makes excuses for Tory MPs who do terrible things. Interesting, the dichotomy, isn't it? This is a pro-Gus stream. We are the pro-Gus stream. He is the goodest boy. Correct. Farage's fuck face is correct. The only time it's acceptable to talk during a movie is when the movie is chappy and you're saying, that's chappy. Grilling Pirate Pete, no Depression era grannies who cut off the mouldy part because rest of still good. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of useful in a way, but, anyway. Apparently there's been a tornado in Grimsby, flipped over a motorhome. Here's a picture. You nearly want to do that really bad joke about there's a tornado in Grimsby and there was £15 worth of damage or something, but no, I'm not going to do that. I've been to Grimsby. It's all right. Mark noticed when the guns start firing in Star Wars, those are the Star Wars. Page 27, Great Wall of Charlie, which is not what you think it is from the Sun. No, it's a big video wall with Charlie Watts on it during the Rolling Stones' new gigs. Oh, Jesus, this is a ridiculous thing. So, there's a prison that's handed out pronoun badges. So, he, they, her, they, she, her, him, he, they, them, and ask me. And because this prison is a prison where some rapists and sex offenders are held, the Sun gives it the headline, Rapist Jail gives out gender badges. What's your fear? They're going to fuck the badges? Like, what? On the front of the Goals supplement, Potluck, Neil Late Show saves Seagulls, Crystal Palace 1, Brighton 1. Ricky Gervais is interviewed, it says, about his life after Afterlife. Suggests he might want to do another series of it, please. No. In the TV recommendations, Gordon, Gino and Fred Go Greek gets a bad review. The Great British Bake Off is on tonight. Yeah. I can't even begin with how stupid that is, says Lincoln about that prison story. Yeah, exactly. In Dear Deirdre today, a woman writes, I'm having the hottest affair with my son's teacher and all I can think about is that I want more. I can't stop fantasizing about him. He's 32 and I'm 31 and my husband is 35. Don't fuck your kid's teacher. This is not going to go well. There, that's my considered advice there. Respecting pronouns and criminal histories are mutually exclusive things. Jesus fucking Christ. Agreed. There's a story by a mother writes about her son who's 12 years old and does drag, or talks about it anyway. Fine, good on him. I would be rather dubious about agreeing to do a feature about your son who does drag in the Sun. But there you go. The batch lady, this woman who makes a load of food and gives you recipes. Chorizo and bacon pasta bags. I mean, that sounds grim, doesn't it? And veggie packed pasta sauce. I mean, fine, good. Today's £50 letter. Meg Bootle of St Leonards-on-Sea says, Angela Rayner, Labour's deputy leader, is called Boris Johnson and his cabinet scum. These politicians were elected to serve the people who voted for them. We're going through biggest changes this country's seen since the Second World War, including Brexit and COVID-19, months of lockdown and now lack of HGV drivers. This is definitely written by someone at The Sun. Is it too much to expect our elected politicians to behave like grown-ups and less like playground bullies? Yeah. Strange to people who say Ricky Gervais is a comedy genius, can't seem to be bothered to watch any of his shows. Right. Really horrendous. Oh, so we needed a new lamp, and I found our new lamp, Devs.
Yeah.
Person in the room, ready? It's the Elvis Presley rock and roll legend floor lamp. It's 5 foot high. No lamps?
No lamps.
Yes, it's yours for just £169.95. If you go into a building, if you go into someone's house, they have no books, but they have this Elvis lamp. Do not fuck them. The King of Lamps. The King of Lamps. It's a portrait artwork, vividly reproduced on all 4 sides, and it comes with a convenient floor pedal switch to turn it on. Presumably, you have to do the hips to activate the floor switch. I don't know. Hard to say. Oh, coins! Alert! Diana at 60, an official coin, free to the nation. £2.50 posted in package. We will write you forever about coins if you get this coin. This is not investment advice. The Diana coin. Green Pirate Pete. Playground bullies like the old days, back when the gentlemanly Cromwell controlled everything. Rose-coloured glasses, remembering the past. Yeah. Please tell me they've age processed Diana for the coin. They have not. It's just. She's not 60, she's dead, said Slinkermeyer. Is Diana dead? I'm afraid to say that Diana's dead. A Diana at 60 coin, you mean she's not dead? This is how we've discovered the conspiracy to hide undead Diana. And in the sport, how do we stop them? I don't know. Pep Guardiola does not know how to stop Lionel Messi and Paris Saint-Germain's superstar strikers. That's the Sun. I give it a triple negative nice. Minus 69, minus 69, minus 69. Right. Okay. Quick roll call, and then we're going to have a speed round. Today's speed round with special guest, person in the room, who will be doing the Daily Mirror. In 2 minutes 30.
What? You don't have to. Okay, fine.
2 minutes 30.
Nine.
Nine.
Do you want me to do it now?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Don't want to feel like I'm living with Ian Paisley.
No.
Slinkermeyer gives the Sun a triple negative nice. Zombie Diana's continuing to age beyond the grave. Grilling Pirate Pete says Diana, Morrison and Hendrix all living in a paradise under Area 51. In the roll call today, I'm the Broken Bottle Boy. You can follow me on Twitter at Broken Bottle Boy. There's Academy Impossible, Arid Track, C122, H122, Chris McRae, Airhabs, Ehud Barak, Farage's Fuckface, Friar Bentos, Grilling Pirate Pete, Heath Moore, 2401, Ice Wizards, Chronotherm, Lilith Myskeria, Mark Canosis calling in from the music students' common room, Metaviews, Pantomime Horse, Rachology, Razenbear, Rimastino, Slinkermeyer, 1727, Shanula, Spike Trap Claire, V&K, Wavy Caligula, and Yitzhak Rabin 3. Hello to you all. And I now pass over to person in the room to do the mirror.
Right, you guys tell me when to go. Hi. Gotta work hard.
And your time starts now.
Okay, on the front page, let all key workers fill up first. So what's really boiling my piss about the local Facebook groups at the moment is the amount of people going on there going, oh, I couldn't fill up my car because all these selfish people are filling up their cars. You're one of the selfish people too because you want to fill up your car. Suck it up and get on your bike. There you go. I'm sure someone famous once said that.
Yeah, Norman Tevitt.
Yeah, I know Norman Tevitt. Finally, PM to meet COVID victim families. Yeah, we'll keep waiting. There's a page 3 that isn't page 3, but is page 3 where Naomi Campbell's got her tits out, almost a bit of cleavage going on, just to show here are some women there for your delectation. They aren't people in their own right, they are just bodies on a page. Highway to Hell, illegal drugs from Glastonbury P harm local river, probably not as much as sewage. Rivers in this country get sewage pumped into them all the time and poisonous. Okay, oh fuck, I forgot to set my timer, sorry. Okay, help for heroes, fuel crisis, give priority to key workers. Penny
You've got 1 minute
Lancaster,
25.
thank you. Penny Lancaster losing grip due to menopause, get some HRT, it's fucking brilliant. Ex-takeaway driver on Sabina murder charge, well that's just horrendous and I hope that one gets, they've fought the right guy. Witness who saw Andrew dancing in club with sex slave victim is to testify. Right. Was he a good dancer? That's what I'd like to know. He doesn't get sweaty on the dance floor. the guy is a pillock, and yeah, enough said. Okay, there's a whole double-page spread on Labour conference, and you read the newsletter, it's all in that. Terror suspect scourged by love for doner kebabs. An alleged British terrorist who put on 6 stone after fleeing Islamic State was seized due to his kebab habit, which is a new operation from the police.
35 seconds.
To basically, I'm not going to do this in time. To what happened? He ordered kebabs online thanks to a social media post, and an alleged terror team took a third kebab delivery and then were arrested from a premises identified as a kebab shop.
15 seconds.
Yeah, come on, I'm not gonna. Vic Reeves has brain tumour, Freaky wins, an arsonist targeted ex-Corrie star Denise Welsh. She's a bit nuts anyway. James Bond. Okay, I'm still going on.
Okay, I'll set a further 30
I'm
seconds.
very tired. This is his usual cry. There's a picture of a dog. Is this the same dog you showed a picture of?
Yeah, it's airplane dog. That'll be from an
Same
agency.
dog. Knife madness. People have knives and they're killing people. The diary. What is the diary?
The diary's like just funny random bits that they write.
Ed Campbell shed 7 stone and remembers the turning point. Okay. Good for him. Utterly amazing. There's a picture of otters. It's very cute. This is an otter.
We are
yeah,
pro
like
otter.
Pro otter. Yep. That's right. Follow back pro otter. Beat diabetes by slimming. Only works for type 2. If even. Your body's sleep secrets. Now they are just trolling us. They are trolling us because we do not sleep well in this household.
No, that's not true. We do sleep well.
We sleep well, but we get interrupted and woken up by quite a tense 11-year-old. Speaking about men's health, really can save lives. Spending hours in the shed is good for a man's health. Yes, it is. And the men's shed project is really good. My dad's in the men's shed thing, and it's really good for him because he doesn't normally get out of the house because he's had some stroke. Oh, dear Colin, can I find 2 minutes to do the problems?
Yeah, do it.
Okay, I like doing this. Alright, my miserable mother-in-law is constantly criticising me. I've been married for 6 years, I have 2 young children, I've never seen eye to eye with my husband's mum, and if I'm honest, I don't like her much. She undermines me constantly, makes snide comments, she criticised my overcooked spuds and the gravy was too runny. I can just ignore her then, just
Don't get me started on that.
yeah. Just don't be nasty about your mother-in-law.
What? My mother-in-law's
Mother-in-law's
nice.
a saint.
My mother-in-law's nice.
Right. She'll leave if I don't start on my temper. My wife has told me she'll leave unless I get my anger issues under control. Quite right. I'm an angry person. I lose my cool. I want to change, but I'm not sure how to. Blah, blah, blah. Sex life is boring and I feel rejected. Dear Colin, my name is Mick and I am 37 years old. I've been with my wife for... No, it's not you.
Yeah,
it turns out it's not you.
Retract.
I've been with my wife for 14 years, married for nearly 10. I love her very much. She says she didn't like certain things during sex. They don't say what the certain things are, but she will now only agree to have sex in the missionary position, and oral is a no-go. She's put on weight but won't contemplate losing it. Oh, what are you doing in the background? Are you perving with binoculars? He's perv. Right, basically, Colleen says, I think she's taking you and the relationship for granted, but also sounds as if she's given up on herself a bit. Don't issue any ultimatums. I don't know what the ultimatums are. It might be like, shag me or fuck off.
If you won't fuck me, baby, fuck off.
If you don't put a ring on my finger, then you can't put your finger in my ring.
Yeah.
Perhaps. I know it's a hard decision to leave a relationship, blah, blah, blah. Okay. This is tedious.
Yeah, the mirror. Welcome to the mirror.
This is
That's why
really
we
tedious.
speak on the
Okay,
mirror.
there's a page by someone called Siobhan McNally. You're a Mirror Community Corner.
It's basically where they use a
it's
page
the
to get people to send shit in.
It's That's Life of the Mirror, and here's a picture of a pylon at sunset. A pylon at sunset. Nature is healing. We are the virus. My beautiful backyard is a picture of a Wendy house. Petra Eccleston says, before getting meningitis, I was a hypochondriac. You don't realise how healthy you are until it's taken away from you. Thank you for that pearl of wisdom. Did you know that in Denmark there are human libraries where you can borrow a person instead of a book?
Yeah.
I think that's illegal in a lot of countries, to be honest. There's some letter pages where everyone... Oh, that's our doorbell. We're getting something exciting delivered.
It's going to be the Roman Reigns figure.
It's going to be the Roman Reigns figure, apparently. The stampede at the petrol station has left many garages closed. I went to fill up with my usual £20 and the forecourt was full at 8 o'clock in the morning. These crazy panic-buying idiots, of which this letter writer doesn't consider himself one, will shove the price of petrol up further and it will snowball into other products. It seems the British people never learn. Well, you haven't learned either, Dave Mellor from Warrington in Cheshire. I was in a voice.
Okay. Something for you.
Oh, cool. I see from reports some people are filling up to half a dozen cans of petrol. For goodness sake, why are they even alive? It's pathetic. Thank you, Susan Rennie, for taking your time to write in when you could have been in a petrol queue. Some advice for ministers. Never say don't panic buy, because far from calming fears, it has the opposite effect. It's called survival of the fittest, and it's part of our DNA, says Edward Lyon Sandown, who's clearly a scientist. Get well soon, bloke from McFly who dances on that thing. On the thing, there's some TV on. Aldi's hiring. There's a picture of a horse and some racing. Sport. No one cares about sport, right? You don't want to hear the sport. There's men kicking balls. There's fuck.
I'm going to go over to our sports correspondent.
Oh, like our sports correspondent who doesn't give a shit. Okay, there's the sports page. I can't do this fucking back to front camera thing. City's NPN, which is I don't care. There's somebody's playing football. Okay, the end. Sorry. That's hard. Can I have a better paper to do?
You can have a better paper to do next time.
Thank you.
And that was a smooth 7 minutes there with person in the room. Thank you, love.
Someone likes sport. Apologies, sports.
Person in the room. Build Mick a shed in the lounge. Says Cronus.
That's a good idea.
Ian Paisley says no coins.
That's true. He does say that.
Mark Kenosis rates the sun a -69 romantic evenings lit only by the Elvis tribute lamp. Grilling Pirate Pete said, has anyone ever resold their coins for a big profit or is it just a scam? It's a scam. Chronothem, nice to see key workers' rhetoric extends giving them little treats but not paying them well yet. Virage's fuckface, I've seen racist conspiracy theories about petrol shortages. Kind of impressive how people manage to shoehorn their racism into anything. Mark Kenosis, losing grip. Surely they aren't. Person in the room is the best. So C122H122. I agree. Mark Kenosis, Human Libraries is an incredible rebranding. What? C122H122 says I like sport. Fair enough. Chronotherm says these human libraries look dope. It's like talking to real people to combat stereotypes. Yeah, I think it's kind of cool in a way. Mark Kenosi says, can I tell my Ian Paisley joke? Yes. Why does Ian Paisley's house stink?
Don't know.
No potpourri. Hey. That's good. All right, cool. We're going to move on to the Times and then clatter into the Daily Mail, and that will be today's show. Thank you all for joining me and person in the room for today's show. Razum Bear says, this is the first time I've watched your stream. It's very good. Well, thank you, Razum Bear. Yeah, basically, we just talk about papers at 1 p.m. UK time every day of the normal week. Not on the weekends, because I cannot cope with doing it then. Oh, good morning, late to game. How are you doing? Good to see you. By the way, Mark Kenosis, excellent Ian Paisley joke. Certainly better than any joke we've ever read out of the Daily Mail. In the Times today, top of the shop, how to stay fit after you've hit 40. And on the right-hand side, Dr. Mark Porter, long COVID, don't ignore the symptoms. Do not. Top story of the main section of the front page, hotline to protect worried bank customers from rising fraud. Can't wait till the fraudsters create their own fake version of that hotline. Possibly already imminently onto it. Main story, let Britain's key workers fill up first, PM urged. The PM urges. How about you actually do something since you're theoretically the government? On the right hand side of the page, commuting's good for your mind and waistline. Did a commercial landlord write this? And the main picture, rocking on. Mick Jagger performs as Rolling Stones' first concert since the death last month of Charlie Watts. Anyone want to do the joke? Charlie Watts is dead. On page 2, school funding under threat as Sunak reins in spending. Fuck you. On page 3, crack on and fix historic windows. English Heritage is asking the public for help. Spruce up its rooms with a view. Roger Bannister, as a distinguished scientific career, was famous for one thing, but was famous for just one thing, being the first man to run a mile in under 4 minutes. But his memorial at Westminster Abbey, to be unveiled today, will instead describe him as a pioneering neurologist and world champion runner. Yeah, that seems fine. What's wrong with that? On page 5, they cover, obviously, the arrest of a man in the murder of Sabina Nessa. Durham University students have said they no longer trust that the university values women's safety after complaints of bullying and sexism. Students, alumni and staff members representing 8,000 students in societies and colleges across the university have accused the university of allowing a college head accused several times of intimidating behaviour towards colleagues to remain in post. C122H122, commuting is good for your health. I have no petrol. On pages 6 and 7, panic buying pushes fuel prices to highest level for 8 years, as the newspapers continue to make it seem like that is necessary. On page 9, they dox more of these protesters from Insulate Britain. Also on page 9, Navy warships Taiwan trip riles China. Britain's been accused by China of an act of provocation after sending a frigate through the sensitive Taiwan Strait in the first such passage by a Royal Navy warship for more than a decade. Well, that's why they did it, isn't it? To seem tough. On pages 10 and 11, it's their coverage of the Labour Party conference. If you want to know more about like how deranged much of this coverage is, read today's newsletter. You can sign up for free, brokenbottleboy.substack.com, and then if you like it, you know, why not get a paid subscription? And insanely, well, no, just inevitably and pathetically, Labour have brought back the Tony Blair slogan, tough on crime, tough on the causes of crime. Love a bit of 90s nostalgia. I hope that Keir Starmer starts wearing hypercolour t-shirts next. On pages 12 and 13, children who eat their 5 a day have better mental health, is the claim of one study. Yeah, whatever. On page 15, they also cover the Glastonbury blame for rivers' toxic level of drugs study. Or, the other way you could look at it is a lot of eels are getting to be off their bonces all the time. Maybe they like that. Maybe the eels like a bit of MDMA, just to be a little bit wavy. C122H122, yes, Blair not against tough on crime, tough on the causes of crime, but not war crime. Mask refuseniks do not have a higher risk of catching virus, is the claim. People who never wear face coverings in enclosed places are 1.5 times, do have a higher risk of catching virus. Are 1.5 times more likely to test positive for coronavirus than those who use a mask. No shit. Biden's had a third jab, booster jab. Instagram delays children's version. I mean, why were they even building that, frankly? Well, I know why, money, but whatever. On page 23, Turner Prize winner opposes toppling of statues. This is Lubina Himid, who has described toppling statues as dangerous as she's submitted an artwork exploring slavery and colonialism to the government art collection. Okay, fine. It's an opinion, isn't it? Chronotherm, I'm certain there are no factors which could correlate with good diets and mental health like, say, wealth. Yeah, imagine that there might be correlation and causation going on. Stones prove they can still give their fans satisfaction, writes Will Pavia, reviewing them playing in St. Louis, Missouri. The Stones know how to play a good gig. On page 25, William Hague says that Labour's path to power could come from the German model. Centre-left blueprint of fiscal discipline, centrism and party control has given the Social Democrats electoral success. Yeah, but William, 2 things. 1, you're a Tory, so you don't give a fuck whether Labour get back into power or not. And 2, the German system is a proportional system which forces coalitions, which makes it a lot easier for parties to have success, rather than our broken first-past-the-post system. So this whole column is fucking moot, isn't it? It's the sort of thing a cow thinks. It's moot. Sorry, I just stole a very old Friends joke there, didn't I? But I make no apologies. On page 26, parties are in trouble if they can't use the C word, writes Sarah Dighton, once again writing her column about trans issues, because it's one of 3 columns she can write. There's no free speech, there's too much trans, what's the third column? My husband doesn't know how to clean our house. My husband refuses to flush the toilet. Those are our 3 columns. They're all variants of that. Sometimes you can mix the 3 together. Giles Corrin is desperately unfunny. Not offensive today. Manages to avoid being offensive, but just unfunny. And Hugo Rifkin says, the fuel for this panic is a basic lack of trust. Another one of those like very rational columns by Hugo Rifkin. Okay, in the birthdays today, Brigitte Bardot is 87. Tom Bauer, the writer, is 75. Peter Brooks, a political cartoonist for The Times since 1992, is 78. Simon Clarke, Conservative MP for Middlesbrough South and East Cleveland and Chief Secretary of the Treasury, is 36. Professor Michael Dobson, the director of the Shakespeare Institute, is 61. Peter Egan, the actor, is 75. George Eustace, Conservative MP for Camborne and Redruth. Red Rum, I nearly read that as. Conservative MP for Camborne and Redruth. Environment, Food and Rural Affairs Secretary is 50. God, he looks much older. Helen Grant, Conservative MP for Maidstone and the Weald. Prime Minister Special Envoy on Girls' Education and UK Trade Envoy to Nigeria is 60. Lord David Hannay of Chiswick, co-chair of the All-Party Parliamentary Group on the UN, is 86. Dr. Barry Hayward, President of the British Antarctic Survey Club and Director of the British Antarctic Survey until 1997, is 84. Elena Ibragimova is 36. She's a violinist. Sir Jeremy Isaacs, General Director of the Royal Opera House, is 89. Lord Kalmesh Patel of Bradford, the Chairman of the Bradford Teaching Hospitals Trust until 2016, is 61. Sir Mike Penning, the Conservative MP for Hemel Hempstead and Armed Forces Minister until 2017, is 64. Giles Peterson, broadcaster, producer and DJ, is 57. Phil Popham, Chief Executive of Lotus Cars until April 2021 and of Sunseeker International until 2018, is 56. Professor Ruth Reid, the President of the Royal Institute of British Architects until 2011, is 65. Angus Robertson, co-founder of the think tank Progress Scotland and SNP MP for Moray until 2018, is 52. John Scott, the rugby union player for England until 1984, is 67. Helen Shapiro, the singer known for Walking Back to Happiness, is 75. Professor Rosalind Smythe, the paediatrician and director of the Institute of Child Health at the University College London, is 63. Jon Snow, who knows many things, presenter of Channel 4 News, is 74. Mira Savino, the actress, is 54. Naomi Watts, another actress, is 53. Baroness Patience Wheatcroft, editor-in-chief of the Wall Street Journal Europe until 2011, is 70, and Damien Woodward Carlton QC is 57. On this day in 1928, Alexander Fleming, the Scottish medical scientist, discovered the antibiotic effect of penicillin. And the last word in this column today goes to Madame du Deffand, the French literary hostess, in a letter from 1763. The distance is nothing. It is only the first step that is difficult. Mark Gnosis, Giles Peters' dad, in my opinion. Thank you for redeeming Hydrate C122H 122. In the world news, knife out for Merkel's heir after poll drubbing. Dutch PM under 24-hour protection after drug mafia threat. Time to stop eating dog, Koreans told. Not that many Koreans do, but this is President Moon is saying the time has come to ban the eating of dog meat, a practice increasingly at odds with the country's growing number of pet owners. In India, hidden phones prompt ban on shoes and socks in Indian exams, and Green and Liberal kingmakers set for coalition in Germany. A sumo superstar bows out with a wounded knee. How's the greatest sumo wrestler in sports history? Hakuho is to retire age 36 after coronavirus and a knee injury brought his unrivaled career to an end. The Mongolian-born Yokozuna, or Grand Champion, made the decision after being forced to drop out of an autumn tournament because 2 wrestlers close to him tested positive for COVID-19. He leaves the sport with a record 899 wins as a Yokozuna, having broken virtually every other record by a margin that may take decades to overturn. Hakuyo was born in Ulaanbaatar. Always tall for his age, he was pushed to become a basketball player, but turned to sumo instead, visiting Japan age 15. 2 years ago, he gained Japanese citizenship, a step which will allow him to establish a stable of his own. The Macrons have taken a privacy, have gone into a privacy fight over a picture of President Macron on a jet ski, has angered him and his wife. They've launched criminal proceedings against a photographer and a gallery owner for breach of privacy. He was also hit with an egg yesterday, but it did not crack. Another picture of Gus, the plain enjoying dog. We just love Gus. In the Times too, back to the 70s. Yes, kids, it really was that bad, writes Richard Morrison. Shortage and chaos, let's party like it's 1975. I'll shut up. Robert Crampton, who person in the room particularly dislikes, says, some things just don't mix. Graveyards and booze, for example. Oh, fuck off. How to stay fit after you're 40. Yeah, okay. Fish and cheese for breakfast. What does that say about Sir Keir? It says that he was at a hotel buffet. Get a fucking grip. There's an interview with Aid Edmondson, which has a very deceptive headline. The headline says, the young ones wouldn't be made now. But if you read into the copy, he says it wouldn't be made because there's too many executives in it. And he explicitly says it has nothing to do with cancel culture. But of course, the Times wants to make you think it does. Gordon Gino and Fred Go Greek gets 2 stars, while RuPaul's Drag Race UK also gets 2 stars. Triple Gus, all the Gusses. Just trying to get to the obituaries. In the obituaries, Norman Bailey, British opera singer who achieved renown for his Wagner roles and worked with conductors from Otto Klemperer to Colin Davis, has died. He was 88. Theonesta Bagosora, the Hutu colonel who masterminded the genocide of Tutsis in Rwanda in 1994 and was found guilty of crimes against humanity, has died in prison, aged 80. It seems curious to me that I guess obituaries are not a sign of being a good person, they're just a sign of being a prominent person, but it seems odd to me to give an obituary space when you only have 3 to a guy who was planned genocide. But of course, they'll give an obituary to Henry Kissinger, so fair dues, I guess. Betty O'Connell, Wren, who was in the first team at Bletchley Park to operate the Colossus Mark I that cracked Hitler's Lorenz messages, has died. She was 95. In Lives Remembered section, Bill Kay writes of Jimmy Greaves. He would have moved to Siberia to get away from Chelsea, where he had been patronised, undervalued and mishandled by the Mears family, the club's owners. £20 maximum weekly wage had been scrapped in 1961, but the club refused to pay Greaves anymore and would not sell him to a rival team. So he moved to AC Milan that June for £80,000. He soon wanted to return. Incredibly, Milan asked for blind offers from just 2 bidders, Chelsea and the club Greaves wanted to join Spurs. The parties colluded so that Spurs succeeded with 99,999. And Alex Ray writes of John Challis, I had the pleasure of sitting next to John Challis and his wife at a charity dinner several years ago. When I was introduced to him, he said, I'm John, don't call me Boise. Because his name wasn't Boise, was it? Thanks, Mark. Have a good afternoon. Enjoy popular music and the media lecture. Hopefully none of this media is involved in it. Slinker Meyer, anyone here to lighten the stories about us living through the 70s again? Fuck you, kids. We don't want you to have a better life than we did. We want you to suffer. Yeah, 100%. C122, H122. There's so much to hate about Keith. Keith about. His breakfast is not one of those things. And it's like, who gives a fuck? Do you know what I mean? I would think less of anyone who didn't go for a mad mix when a breakfast buffet is available. And in the sport, Westwood Ryder Cup vision, Brighton leave it late, Messi fit to face Guardiola, and ex-pros urged to beat referees in football. That is the Times. Give me your scores. For me, Goss was in there, so I'll give it a -69, -68. The just under double negative. Nice. Finally, we come to the Daily Mail. Of course we do. Inevitably. If it's in the pile, it's always the final paper, for whatever reason. Slinker Meyer gives the Times a double negative nice. The classic score and arguably the correct score. Finally, okay, so it's another day of smart motorway stories from C122, H122 concurs with me on the Times, say -69, -68. Another day of smart motorway stories from the Daily Mail, top of the shop. Will this year's flu jab stop a new epidemic? Maybe. Main story, smart motorways, Boris orders proper inquiry. PM acts after Mail reveals lethal failings. I think, more than in recent years, that Downing Street and the Mail are colluding even more than usual in terms of, because the Mail does a campaign, and then Boris Johnson quite rapidly agrees with that campaign or supports that campaign or whatever. That's always happened, but recently they've really been in lockstep. Second story on the page, of course, is the charging of this pizza driver with her murder. That case, obviously, now subject to legal proceedings. On page 3, Mamma Mia, Milan mesmerised by Moss magic. 007 to save the world, and the Odeon. They think the James Bond film will drag a lot of cinemas out of the muck. Heathmore 2401 helps if you can get a flu jab. All the flu jab appointments are here, booked out already. C122, H122, don't hold your breath. Inquiries mean nothing. Oh yeah, I don't mean that it will do anything. I just mean that they're having an inquiry, so that he's announced an inquiry, so the Daily Mail can say, we got him to announce an inquiry. On pages 4 and 5, Britain grinds to halt is their coverage of the petrol stuff. Furious police sniper kills rare white stag roaming town streets in Merseyside. Do we know the whereabouts of Keir Starmer when that white stag was killed? Because he didn't get to kill the alpaca. I'm just saying. On page 7, Sabina suspect was a Domino's pizza driver. Pages 8 and 9, exposed lethal flaws in smart motorway radar system that put you in danger. More of that, another double page spread on that. They did 4 pages on that. Their coverage of the Labour conference. Starmer blow as shadow minister quits at conference. 224 billion. That's a staggering sum Labour plans to borrow to turn our economy green. That's like government borrowing numbers. You can always make them sound massive, but like whatever. Henry Deeds, a hereditary journalist, the grandson of Bill Deeds, the legendary Telegraph editor, and the cousin of, get ready folks, Sophia Money Coots, writes, Rachel hollered away like an out-of-tune tuba. Now, I'm no fan of Rachel Reeves, but if you read Quentin Letz's sketch today, or Henry Deeds's, and several others, in fact, the common denominator is misogyny. The way that female politicians are written about these sketches is almost universally misogynistic. Heathmore 2401, shooting that deer is just asking to get cursed. Slinker Meyer, Keith is clearly on a murder rampage. It's the only explanation of how beige he is in a Minecraft simulation, of course. Female Labour MP, naked photos and acid threats against her love rival. And of course, they put a picture of Claudia Webb next to Jeremy Corbyn in that story, because of course they do, even though he has nothing to do with the story. On page 15, Emma goes green. Rumours of magic in the air between star and son of Top Shop tycoon Sir Philip Green. What attracted you to the son of the multi-millionaire scumbag Philip Green? And the Emma in that case, of course, is Emma Watson. Singer R. Kelly guilty over sex trafficking. Good. May he be jailed for a very long time. Graduates fury at plan to make them pay back loans earlier. Well, they should be furious about that. Whoever claims the crown will drag Germany further into the giant EU blob, says Alexander von Schoenberg, editor-at-large of Bild. Bild, of course, being the German equivalent of the Sun and the Mail, really wrapped up together. Should South Korea take dog meat off the menu as their coverage of that? Now the shoulders getting bolder. Those big, what are they called? They like puff sleeves. They're back, anyway, apparently. They look awful. On page 27, CIA plot to capture or kill Assange in London. Bombshell report claims US plan to grab Julian Assange from a hideout in Ecuador embassy. Doesn't surprise me at all. Daily Mail, one of the few papers to give that prominent coverage, interestingly. There's more on Prince Philip, who's dead, by the way, just in case you're not aware. Prince Philip is dead. Though he's married to the Queen, Philip's love of racy London society found him caught up in the Profumo affair and to the alarm of MI5, vulnerable to Russians spying on the royals, as our gripping series reveals how the party prince became a target for Soviet blackmail. And tomorrow, why the Queen kept silent on the spy in her palace. Well, because she didn't want to be fucking embarrassed. September 28, 2021, from the Daily Mail archive on 1964 on this day. The pop pirates of Radio Caroline claim they have a bigger afternoon audience than all the BBC sound services combined. Caroline, which went on the air in March, now reaches 39 million people. September 28th, 1996. Prince William is telling friends at Eton all about how he had entertained three of the world's top models. Naomi Campbell, Claudia Schiffer and Christy Turlington were invited to tea at Kensington Palace by Princess Diana as a treat for him and in response to a dare. That's just weird, isn't it? C122, X122. Is Philip dead? Is Philip dead? Philip's dead. He's my favourite racist. Holy shit, Prince Philip dead, etc. Yes, thank you for keeping that going, Slinkamar. Happy birthday to Bridget Bardot, who is 87, and Peter Egan, who is 75. We've covered that. Also born on this day in 551, Confucius. Confucius says, happy birthday. Sylvia Crystal, also born on this day in 1952, died 2012. The Dutch actress made her name as Emmanuelle in a 1974 film and 4 sequels. One critic called the movie clumsily directed, badly acted, with risible, badly dubbed dialogue, but attracted worldwide audiences 650 million. Crystal had affairs with Warren Beatty, Gerard Depardieu, and Lovejoy star Ian McShane, who once said she was unable to walk and talk at the same time. She hit back that he was too short to be a major star. Good, fuck her, fuck him. On September 28th in 1990, Have I Got News For You began on BBC Two. It needs to be cancelled now. In 1996, Frankie Dettori rode all 7 winners on the card at Ascot. Quote of the day comes from Edgar Allan Poe. He said, all that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. Joke of the day. Which continental cheese is made backwards? Which continental cheese is made backwards?
Edam.
Edam. That's Edam. It's a terrible joke. They've got a picture exclusive from the new Bridgerton. Meghan wore a necklace, which apparently means something. They review various shampoos. They talk about Camilla's secret anguish. You'd have a lot of anguish if you were married to Prince Charles, I think. From lack of vitamin B12 to dieting, having an op, or even sunshock, the surprising factors could rapidly accelerate physical and mental decline. M&S Cinnamon Swirl that left Marcel fighting for her life on the bus home. It's about food labelling. They try and sell you various vitamins, a mask to fix, reduce your wrinkles. Pick of the day, of course, is Great British Bake Off. In the reviews, Gordon, Gino and Fred go Greek. It gets 1 star, and The Perfect Pitch gets 3 stars. There's an advert for David Hamilton, Diddy David Hamilton, who's back on Boom Radio. For the boomers who love to listen to radio. In the cartoons today, Garfield is in his box, and the phone goes off and the shopping has arrived. And he's very delighted about this. In Chloe and Co., Chloe and her friend are sat drinking coffee this time and talking not about men, but about shoes and handbags. And in Fred Bassett is in the park where they're picking 5-a-side teams and people nearly forget to pick Yorkie. Ian Heslop needs to be put out to pasture, says Slinkmar. Yeah, I think so. Both that on Have I Got News For You and Private Eye. He's been the editor of Private Eye since he was 22. Yeah, Wavy Caligula, you got it, Edam. Right, here's today's poems. These are really bad.
I'll go online in 5 minutes.
Okay, well, I'm going to be done in 2, if I'm not stopped by...
It's all my fault for overrunning the speedrun.
Today, it is, that's a fact. The real world. I've been back to the wonderful world that is real. How can I possibly say how I feel? There were friends who had known me for quite a few years. We looked at each other and burst into tears. I've been to the jazz club and now WI, where we took our own cups and ate apple pie. We didn't know who baked it, but what did we care? We were meeting and chatting with smiles everywhere. At book club, we met like knights at the round table, sitting as far as we were able. I've been back to a wonderful world that is real. How can I possibly say how I feel? I suppose after all this, just what I wanted, and will never again take the world for granted. Wanted and granted do not rhyme, Christine Lacey of Cambridge. Try again. Limerick. For him, scoring goals seems so easy. That's the way we'll remember our Greavesy. And throughout his long life, even when he faced strife, he always remained bright and breezy. Bum. Oh, Jesus. In the straight-to-the-point letters, none of the collapsing energy companies supply gas or electricity to customers. They merely look after the billing, says John Smith. Howard Ashton says, good to hear of plans to stop gambling sponsorship on football shirts. Not so good that fans can be allowed to drink alcohol while watching matches. Giles Colling of Todmorton says, we have a shortage of CO2, essential for the food industry, while trying to rid ourselves of CO2 threatening the world. Satire is dead. It's actually more complicated. You Moron. John Bellis, real name, says, other food youngsters may not have heard of are tripe and onions, oxtail and kippers.
Tripe is fucking
Disgusting. And Rosie Butterworth says, I'd like to give a heartfelt thank you to all the lovely railway staff who helped me on my journey to Birmingham to see Genesis in concert when I was on crutches. That's nice. Send a letter to the railway company, not to the Daily Mail. Today's recipe is overnight oats, which is fine, whatever. There's various ugly trousers to buy. And in the sport, we will suffer. Pep expects pain for City against unstoppable PSG front three. Neil Diamond late Morphy strike is priceless for Potter. Nuno ditched TV interview due to fans' vile abuse. Give me your scores for the Daily Mail. For me, it's what? Septuple negative nice. Minus 69, 69, 69, 69, 69. If you've enjoyed today's show, consider signing up for the newsletter. It's a newsletter you get every day in your inbox, and it's about the media. Also, if you've enjoyed the show, but you don't want to sign up, you don't want to subscribe regularly here on Twitch, you just want to throw some coins in to say you appreciate the show, go to the Paper Fund. PayPal, not me, /Conquest of the Useless. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like a non-tuple negative nice from Slinkermeyer and a deca negative nice from C122 H122. This has been a show with me, the Broken Bottle Boy. Follow me on Twitter if you like. And see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that other good stuff. See you tomorrow.